So don't get me wrong, I do still like this show, but this time out I felt there were too many weak episodes. That yes builds the events up a bit, but in these episodes there's not too much happening, and you are bored as a viewer. That can especially be said about the 5th and 6th episode, after Zella breaks up with Barry, after listening to an actor she has known for like a couple of days, stating that he was violent and didn't want to see her hurt, which really resonated with her. After the focus then in the first few episodes was more on the Jean and Barry relationship, I feel that focus switched very much in these 2 episodes, where most of the time now was dedicated to Sally's show, Joplin, who first was a success with 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, but then because of some shitty algorithm was cancelled. The reason I'm disappointed is because the particular 2 first episodes seem to build up something between Jean and Barry, and also those 2 first episodes were also a part where the comedy really worked. You saw Jean being chased by a couple of dogs, the odd thing that Barry kidnapped Jean and almost killed him, then realized that he had a plan to give him a part in the show when he was rock bottom and his career was shit. Before that, Jean had intended to kill Barry when he came to see him, but of course Barry is not a guy you can take down with a gun. After that, they didn't really cross paths again, and I feel that it would be a potential that they could actually star in a show together, but that wasn't to be. Because the plan was that everything would fall into pieces for Barry, and he would resort to the old game of being a killer. Then of course you had a cool telephone conversation in the 3rd episode, where Fuches interacts with Barry in a very funny way, and they both yell at each other. And Fuches scarily says, "You ruined this man's life." Barry of course doesn't see that he will never get forgiveness from Jean, despite that he says that he will keep a secret and keep him out of jail. That was not built on either, because all Fuches wanted to do was to hire a bunch of something like 50 relatives to those Barry had killed to take him down, because he didn't have the stomach to do it himself. So that play was not built on either. Also, what I also find very strange is the way that Hank hires Barry at rock bottom when his life is going downhill, to take out the Bolivians that have been messing with his business. He then struggles to detonate the bomb, but manages it in the end, and those scenes aren't made any good like you used to see in Season 2 and Season 1, which maybe points to the fact that the writers lack creativity. Because the war you wanted between Hank's group and the Bolivians never happened, they are just gone in a flash by a bomb, and Hank is the only survivor. What I generally feel for the whole season is very much like that we lack good comedy and also some more badass action scenes. Not that one shot and everybody's dead kind of style. People talk about this finale being epic, then you should go see the Season 1 or Season 2 finale once again, because both those 2 episodes was much more exciting and had you on the edge many more times. The ending in the 3rd season is still good though, as you of course cannot take Barry out one-on-one fighting or in a gutter fight, you had to deceive him. That's what a woman wanting revenge for one of Barry's victims did. She poisoned him and he doesn't say a word for the whole next to last episode. He is also of course fooled in the finale when Jean stands there and says, "They know it all, Barry. Don't go in there." Of course, he goes in psycho killer mode and wants to fix it and take down this policeman who finally convinced Jean to stop protecting Barry so that he could be arrested and pay for the evil he had done, which he for so long had kept a secret from everybody but Jean, of course. I guess that was his true mistake, being too honest in those moments. I feel it's also a strong and cool moment when you see how pissed Sally gets at her friend and former associate, Natalie. That is a strong and raw moment from Sally in the series, and I wish we could have seen a little more of that in her character. The same thing is also played out in the very last episode, when she almost seems like the female version of Barry, when she in barbaric struggling fashion manages to kill the intruder in their house who was going to kill Barry. The problem is of course that Barry doesn't really interact with too many people in this season, after his hard downfall, and now Jean is the one on the rise. Of course you gotta give a handout to Barry. Although he did try to kill him, he did actually give him a part in a show that actually turned his life 360 degrees. So as a last comment on his 3rd season, I sit there with a feeling that the show almost was made too serious, where yes, almost everybody's life went down the drain. Barry got locked up, Fuches got sent away, Sally failed in her acting career. The only 2 that really rolled into the sunlight was Jean and Hank, although the latter had to really get through some heavy stuff to get there. Of course you might like this season better than me, but I feel it could have been so much better. I mean, they made a very strong Season 1 and 2, but in my opinion, the third season lacks a little spark. But hopefully, that will be reignited in the fourth one.